Bayern Munich just kicked off our Champions League campaign with a win versus Inter Milan. I thought it was a good game. I thought the tactics from Nagelsmann were right. I thought the players played well. I thought the player selection was good. The players lined up in proper positions, and we really suffocated Inter Milan. Inter Milan had really nothing going forward, and it was all Bayern, all FC Bayern Munich, and it extends our run of winning in the Champions League. I think they mentioned from the 2003 to 2004 season, and that's incredible because how can the club win our opening game in the Champions League for about 20 years in a row? It's simply incredible. It shows the winning mentality of Bayern Munich. And one player who was in the Bayern Munich squad, he was in the Bayern Munich starting lineup for Bayern Munich's final defeat in the 2009-10 Champions League season, was Thomas Muller. He played Inter Milan in that game. He was the only player for both teams today who was on the field that day, and he was also really important in these player ratings. But let's get straight into these player ratings, and just a reminder, I will be doing a separate video where I talk about the match tactics instead of my usual put it in the end of these player ratings video. So starting from the front, as always, I thought that Sadio Mane was the striker, and he had some nice touches and got involved with some of the plays. He had some plays where he was dropping deep, he was involved on the ball. He didn't touch it too many times, but he had a few times where he might have done a turn and then passed to Davies, who had a shooting opportunity. That definitely happened once. And he was just seamlessly fitting into the team so well. And this has been the story of Mane's season, and it shows how good Mane is to be able to seamlessly fit into the engine that is Bayern Munich. He is just another one of those parts contributing to a very intense, very extravagant, champagne football playing team, and he was great again, 7 out of 10. Leroy Sane was one of my best players on the field. It was an 8.5 out of 10. His goal reminded me of that Lionel Messi goal in the World Cup. You know the one I'm talking about. The one, I think, against Nigeria. I know Argentina always play Nigeria. It's a bit of a meme at this point. But he did score that in the 2018 World Cup. And the thing which reminded me of his first goal about this was that control while moving forward. If you look at the slow motion replay, he touched it about 3 times on his chest, on his knee, etc. And all while pushing his momentum forward in the control of that goal. And that technical quality oozes class, oozes ethereal touch and extravaganceness. And it was just incredible performance for Sane. Sane was returning to the start of last season Sane, which was our best player of the season in the first few months. There was one moment right after his first goal where he also tracked back and he contributed really hard. He did a lung-busting run. It was an insane run, if you will. And he tracked back, he did a nice shoulder barge, left a little bit of in it. And it just showed the passion, the hunger. I said this last week, but Sane is hungry like Nicolas Sula is hungry for McDonald's right now, and that's a really good sign for Bayern Munich because it shows that he wants to play, he loves to play, and that a motivated Sane can be one of the best players in the world. It can be one of the best players in this Bayern Munich team, a Bayern Munich team which is already so excellent. 8.5 out of 10. His second goal also was a masterpiece. He played a few 1-2s with Coman, incredible, really tremendous, and it was just superb from Leroy Sane. Kingsley Coman was playing as that right midfielder in Bayern's 3-4, interesting formation. I'll talk about it in the tactics video. Remember to check that video out. But he didn't have that many chances to really dribble the opposing players because he was playing as a wing-back role, really. But he was often quick on the counter-attack. I thought his one-touch play, he had 2 one-touch passes with Sane for the second goal, was incredible. So it was still a 7 out of 10. It was still a good performance. It just wasn't incredible, and he got subbed off as a result. I thought Thomas Muller was one of the most crucial players, even if he doesn't get the highest rating. He's a 7.5 for me. I thought Muller, he had 3 early shots, 3 early very good shots, very dangerous shots, and it looked like he might be the danger man, he might be the guy to score, and on another day he would have been, but it wasn't to be. But he was the orchestra orchestrator that we were missing against Union Berlin. After that match, I said that how can you expect the Bayern Munich orchestra to play without its conductor? And its conductor was back in this game. And I think one of the commentators in my broadcast of the game said Thomas Muller is the smartest player in the world. And I would agree, because he helped his teammates out so much. He was always commanding his teammates. You heard him on the speaker issuing instructions, and in a central attacking midfield role, he was the outlet for lots of Bayern's passes from Kimmich, from the wingers, from the fullbacks, where he would progress the ball further on and on. So he was just crucial. He could have maybe done more when he had some shooting opportunities. He tried to pass it a few times, as he always does, but maybe he should be more clinical. But it was still a great performance, 7.5 out of 10, very good. Now, Marcel Saboter. I think Saboter is a 7 out of 10. Saboter got subbed, but he played well in about 60 minutes he was on. He was just tidy in possession, overall solid. He was playing further up than Kimmich, as opposed to in previous games where Saboter's been the 6, because Bayern were playing this formation where Kimmich was a holding midfielder, but he was still good in possession. He didn't contribute that much, but 7 out of 10, solid team performance from Saboter. And Kimmich was my man of the match today, 8.5 out of 10. He had that sublime ball for the goal, and that ball's making highlight reels everywhere. But my question is, why isn't Kimmich making those highlight reels anyway? Because he makes those ball about 70 times every game. He always does that one to Gnabry, to Coman, this time to Sane. Lofted, chipped, little dink over the top, and it was just really it was great for Kimmich to be that. He was the orchestrator, like Muller in attack. He was really in the middle of the park, the key figure. He was a ball magnet because he was playing as a lone DM. Basically, one could argue as the lone centre mid. All the passes were going through him. He was progressing them like he was, I don't know what an analogy to make here, so I just won't make one. But he was really progressing the passes so well. He was always being an outlet, and then bam, hitting a crossfield ball, just really good. In defense, he wasn't even traffic cone Kimmich, which he often is. He was really tenacious. He was grabbing onto people. He was making sure Inter couldn't counterattack. Just captain's performance worthy from Kimmich. Really good. The defense, I thought, was actually really good, even though we conceded a few chances later on. Pavard, 7.5 out of 10. As he was just very solid. I didn't really notice Pavard that much this game, but that's a credit to him. Paolo Maldini said that if you don't notice a defender, then they're doing a good job, something along those lines, and that's what I saw from Pavard. Going forward, he was a presence, 7.5 out of 10. De Ligt, 8.5 out of 10, and I was delicted with this performance. Delighted, you see what I did there? I thought so. Because it was really solid, just like De Ligt, because he is a big boy, like old Nicolas Süle, who had a great performance yesterday, by the way. I watched the Dortmund game too. But he started his attacks at centre-back as well, which was really interesting because we were playing the back three. He was the central centre-back, so his ball-playing ability was really shone. His passes, intricate passes into the midfield, along the floor, zip-de-doo, zipped, like a skipping stone across the water, just like pss. But anyway, very good. Lucas Hernandez, 7 out of 10. I would have given 8 out of 10. He was so good. He stopped a crucial counter-attack early on in the game where if he didn't block it, then Inter would have scored, which would have made for an interesting matchup. Another pun, yes. But it was really good, but except he had that massive mistake near the end of the game where he was trying to play it across the goal, just like coaches say, never play it across the goal, and then the attacker intercepted it and had a clear one-on-one chance. So that docks Lucas. He made a upamecano-like mistake, and he must have gone up, like oops, after that one. Anyway, Davies, I thought 7.5 out of 10. Defensively, he was so good. He was pocketing whoever was the Inter right mid. I don't even know their name, just because Davies was so dominant over them, so commanding over them. And going forward, he was great offensively and just excellent. He was really the left wing back, but he was acting like a left winger at times, and he was really such a presence. And his ability, his stamina, his speed to get forward to the counter-attacks really helped Bayern out. So, great performance. Neuer is a 7 out of 10. I thought he made a few decent saves. He, of course, got the CS, clean sheet. He had a few dodgy passes, but 7 out of 10, still very good performance. Those are my player ratings. For Nagelsmann's rating, which I usually do after the player ratings, I'm not doing that anymore. I'll have Nagelsmann's rating in my tactics analysis video, which I'll upload just after this. So please check that out now. Thank you. Bye.